Let's start with this week's major breaking news. Michele Bullock, the current Deputy Chief of the Reserve Bank, has been appointed the next RBA Governor.
Michele will be the first female governor since the independent RBA was founded in 1959. After close to 4 decades of service to the RBA, most recently as the Deputy Governor, Ms Bullock is eminently qualified to lead this national institution.
Michele Bullock is fiercely independent, tremendously accomplished, and we cherish the Reserve Bank's independence.
Bullock will become Australia's 9th Reserve Bank Governor. Her 7-year term will commence when Dr Lowe finishes up on September 18 later this year. Bullock has had an almost 40-year career at the RBA, originally starting in the Economics Department in 1985. She gradually made her way through the ranks to Deputy Governor in April last year when she replaced the outgoing Guy Debelle. With the cash rate at its highest level since 2012, there'll be a lot of scrutiny placed on the newly appointed Governor.
I'm very pleased that where we've landed, and it is it's just very fortunate that someone of your experience and capacity is available.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much, and it's an absolute honour, and I'm really happy that I've got such great support from the government, so thank you very much. I think a big part of my role is going to be what you just mentioned, leading the bank through change, which is a very important part of the next year or so. So thank you.
Outgoing RBA Governor Dr Lowe was quick to praise the promotion of his colleague, saying, "The Treasurer has made a first-rate appointment. I congratulate Michele on being appointed Governor. The Reserve Bank is in very good hands as it deals with the current inflation challenge and implementing the recommendations of the review of the RBA. I wish Michele all the best." Dr Lowe was also thanked by the Treasurer for his service as RBA Governor over the last 7 years.
Dr Lowe goes with our respect, he goes with our gratitude, and he goes with dignity, and I want to make that clear.
The appointment of Michele Bullock received bipartisan support after the opposition had made clear it would not back the appointment of public servants Stephen Kennedy or Jenny Wilkinson. Shadow Treasurer Angus Taylor issued a statement saying, "Michele Bullock is a highly capable economist who has served the Reserve Bank with distinction for 38 years. With inflation at its highest level in 3 decades, it is essential Australians can have confidence in this crucial economic institution." Bullock has also been well received by industry leaders. Jennifer Westacott, Chief Executive of the Business Council, said, "Bullock's appointment brings stability as we continue to meet our current and future economic challenges, and we look forward to working together. We thank Dr Dr Lowe for his long-standing service to the RBA, particularly as we navigated the economic impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic and the economic headwinds that followed." The Chamber of Commerce praised the appointment but noted the job won't be without its challenges.
She's coming in at a very key time because the Reserve Bank's trying to engineer a soft landing to a slowdown. That's a very tricky thing to do. And she's also got a major review into the Reserve Bank that she's got to execute. So there's quite a lot on her.
Bullock's term will herald in a new era for the Reserve Bank. This week, Governor Lowe announced that the Reserve Bank would adopt some of the key recommendations of the Treasurer's RBA review, which was released back in March. Starting from next year, the number of board meetings will be cut to 8, down from 11, and each meeting will include a press conference. The RBA will also appoint a Chief Operating Officer and create a separate communications department. These changes will commence from next year.
But as times change, we need to change too. The world we're facing is increasingly complex, and it's been right to re-examine how we take and communicate monetary policy decisions and how we're managed internally.
But there's more regulatory changes still to come for the RBA, including the creation of 2 boards. There will be a monetary policy board, which will focus on setting interest rates, and a governance board, which will oversee the bank's operations. These changes were in response to the cultural problems that were reported inside the RBA. The government is expected to introduce legislation towards the end of the year for any changes that require amendments to the RBA Act, such as changes to the RBA's mandate and the removal of the government's power to veto cash rate decisions.
The RBA should be as transparent as it reasonably can in a way that's useful to the community. We want the community to understand what we're doing, why we're doing it, and the factors we're taking into account and how we're managing the trade-offs. The changes that I've laid out this afternoon are a significant step in this direction, and the new board will have the opportunity to consider the merits of further steps in due course.